Hi, and welcome. My name is Chawa, and we're playing Necrobarista. Let's see, we need to continue our story, so let's continue. The main story. Hello. What you doing? Day 2, 5 p.m. outside the terminal. You right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. Mind if I join you? Go for it. Derry? Huh? You want a Derry? I'm sorry, Derry. Coffin nail. Cigarette. Do you want a smoke or no? Oh, right, of course. Yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Okay, smoking is bad. Thanks. No worries. Where are you from then? Huh? You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Oh yeah? Whereabouts? Smith Street. Bit pricey up there these days, isn't it? Bet you like your Avo toast. Huh? Peace off. I've got a housemate. Well, now I know what you mean. Bit odd. Being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I understand. Do you? I reckon as much as anyone can. Yeah. Right. Hey, what's avotos actually taste like? Huh? I've never had it. Can you go out and just eat some? I'm sure Matty could whip it up, if you ask. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust him one bit. Plus, I've got this whole situation. Oh, so that's what the straw was for? You got it. So what does it taste like? I don't know, like avocado and toasted bread. Avocado is kinda cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas? Huh? Definitely better than the mushy peas. Love me a bowl of peas, mate. What? 'Cause they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. Gonna zap me with your death council powers? First off, it's the Council of Death, not a death council. They're totally different things. Secondly, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of our fingers? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah. We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly, is all. Harassing cafe owners to settle their time debts isn't something we like to do often. Do you just keep the peace? As freaking running as that sounds, yeah, Ned keeps the peace. Dude, I know. Want another? Sure. Oh, Ken. Really nice view. Oh, who's there? I love the sunrise here. They're alright. You watch many sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. Even semi-immortals need their sleep. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. Feeling optimistic all of a sudden? No, I still feel like crap. Ha! How about you, Kishan? Kishan? Kishan, I don't feel great. I'm still having a lot of trouble. You guys, I'm dead and I've only got a couple hours left before I have to go, and I don't think anyone here really properly understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever without any idea what comes next. That is really freaking terrifying. If I'm ever gonna see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again, I'm just gonna pass on and I'll never know how they remember me or mourn me, or if I'm even gonna be remembered as a good dude who tried his best, or if I'll just be forgotten in a year. But that good dude who tried his best couldn't even win a friggin' game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that basically sits on the banks of the Styx as far as I can tell, and God, I can't even tell if that matters. Were the stakes low? High? I can tell. I'm so disoriented. I'm trying so desperately to feel something, but all I feel is that I'm slipping away with every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that's incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, fair cop. I actually come out to apologize for that. The game. Oh, for God's sake, Maddie, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Kishan? I shouldn't have taken that time from you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. What's different this time? That's my business. I can't believe that you're still swindling people out of hours to try and fix your debt. Dude, I know. It's bloody and undignified, and it's a clear violation of the rules. I will banish you right now, my man. I thought you'd stop pulling that crap once you took ownership of the cafe from Che. You really think doing this is going to help you pay this debt? Yes, absolutely. And if you've got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I am all ears. We should have never granted you and Chai those licenses to practice. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have the licenses, Bashman? Given your history, the hypocrisy on display here is astounding. That's all behind me, and you know it. I've been working and doing some good for the last 100 years. With the council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important. Sure do. I don't need your moralizing of me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. But I'm putting the last day on Earth guard. Quitted. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kishan. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about all of this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave, walk the lead land for decades evading the council. That's a crime they call revenancy, staying too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of putting me straight to the next place or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. Sorry, that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. Yeah, it's interesting enough. Nah, I'm just filling up an empty air. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddie right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. And you might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you. You think so? Maddie wouldn't have offered the hours back if there wasn't something different about you. Plus, that kid Ashley seems to like you, yeah? I guess. She kinda just dragged me off and got me to hold screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on, go inside and say hi. I've got some business to go stick my nose into anyway. Alright, catch you in a bit. Yeah, I've got some questions about the console. Of course, I won't be out of for long. Leather mate. Hey, yo, do you want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference. If it's okay, I'd prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley? And me too, I guess. You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me. Just still for a minute. Alright, land your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. Is this part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? Shut up! Thanks. Watch carefully and no matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I ran out of the reagents required and you probably don't care about that. True. Alright, yep. I gave this time freely and without coercion. As above, so below, I maintain the balance. Oh, I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel? I actually feel better. I feel less itchy. Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good. Right, yeah. Why does Ned get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The Council are a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us. That's fascinating. Tell me about it. I have joined ages ago, but their appetite digs. They don't seem to so bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of their ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations on manipulating life force and certain standards on the treatment of spirits. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines, despite his blustering. Gave them back because I felt bad, that's all. Oh, neat, so you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No, dude, it's not like that at all. Nah, you don't need to clarify, I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth. Moving on. Fine, sure, I'm sorry. Who's there? Sorry, I've gotta serve this customer. I'll help. Really? It's probably not a two-person job. Yep. Come on. And what it will be? Day 2, 6 p.m. The terminal. Phew. Anything else that needs doing? Nah, I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them, you need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way, you'll find it eventually. Cool, back in a minute. Oh, they're here. Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Nothing. Yeah? What's this then? Ah, my castle! Brought low by my own hubris. No, it was just a pawn. And maybe a little bit of hubris. Bishop. Knight. Your other castle and check. Check, you say? Oh, I didn't think of that. You activated my trap card. Oh, hey matey, come check this out. Huh? I tricked him into a false sense of security. Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver you that hard? Yes, I'm very ashamed. I suppose the real herbalist was inside me all along. I freaking love winning. I should try doing this more often. A chance to win at chess could grow into a big winning streak, you know? You wanna play something with us? I should really head back down to the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they'll know where to find you. How about I grab us all a drink? Make sure there's nobody waiting down there, then we play something. Won't be 5 minutes. You actually gonna come back this time? You never come back? I'll come back. Promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone? Let's find something, Ashley. What do you feel like playing today? Something with lots of dice. Dice it is. We'll see you in a minute, Maddie. Day 2, 6:15 p.m. Ashley's workshop. Are they playing? What's this? Interesting. There's an ad. And that's why the 4th season of Raw Battle Royale was an absolute betrayal. Are you still want to be on it one day? Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up. Like in wrestling? Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show. I want something like that. You could probably put your own local league together if you work really hard. Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle them. Human-controlled boats are boring though. I want to get more of that spirit juice and put together a bigger Ashling. How big? I think I'll start at car size, then move into more of a bus-adjacent form factor. I'm not sure we have enough to power one of those. You'll have to get Maddie to source you a large amount of it. We need liters of it, at least. That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was a little girl, though? Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know won't hurt him. He'd lose his head if he knew half the things we were doing around here. I know he seems fairly lenient with you, right? He wasn't always like that. A long time before you turned up, he nearly shut me down because Would you believe it's because I sheltered a criminal? Ned nearly shot you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are? Trust me, the irony was apparent. I found it very, very funny. What sort of criminal were they? Just a meaner demon on the run. I don't know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere. That's metal. It was extremely metal. How long did you manage to hide her for? Not too long, maybe 6 weeks. The time flew by, if I'm being honest. History of Germany. Do you see there on the background? Where's that? Why is that? Was she from the lock room? No, nothing like that. We bonded. Magically? How do you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddie that sort of thing was impossible between being on this plane. No, not magically. We were, lovers. Ew. Yuck. Ew. Happier days. I love hearing about when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Old and boring? Definitely old. Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring. There's that patented Maddie charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yeah, charms, hexes, curses. That's all on your account, old man. I won't deny it. Hey, Maddie. Hey, dude. Having trouble with the kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere. Just behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. I told you I checked everywhere. Nah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be better there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum always that they exist. I. How long are we going to keep him here, Maddie? Oh, we're keeping him? No, we're not keeping him. I'm going to let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point. You feel sorry for him? Rarely, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude. I like him. Yeah, do you like him because he's nice? Or because he was good at passing your tools over? Yes. Don't get too attached. He's not gonna be here forever. Well, yeah, I know how it works. I'm going to enjoy having him around just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Ashley, that's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that. Same. I'm used to people moving on. It's the point. I can deal with it. Good. 6:30. The terminal. Maddie again? Ah, it's crowded. Oh, Ned's here. Oh no. Crap! Huh? Oh, nice, Maddie. Nicely done. You gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or no? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah, I don't want to go. I know you have probably heard this from, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. It's not about staying around for people or waiting to go back to my own life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds, like I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point to worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe? No. All this, I guess you'd call it this plane? Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to stay. Sure. Did Maddie give you those hours back? Yeah, why? Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit. Half here, half gone. But it's a rich existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours though? There's only so many you can get from consenting beings. The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is that you can't, Kishan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that no matter whether they are doing good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety, something that separates us from, well, people who don't do that. That's where the idea of vampires come from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they're just dickheads. Anyway, if you can take life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted. It feels gross. If it didn't, everyone would take it, consequences be damned. How were you feeling today before Maddie took the hours back? I felt like I was slipping away, like my mind was really foggy. It was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed though. Typical. Imagine that, but then 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like you're a collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying, right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How should I stay otherwise? Well, you could always go on the lam. Just run for it. But you catch me. Not me personally, but yes, the council would, eventually. And that's it? That's my only option? Perhaps. Depends on how you feel about bonding yourself for eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice. I have no strong feelings about it, one way or another. Smart arse. Huh? Would you regret if you stayed here forever instead of moving on? I don't know, I guess that'd be up to me, right? How do you mean? In the end, how I feel about taking a big branch in my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I'll regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, that's probably better for me, yeah? Sure. You don't sound convinced. I'm just ambivalent on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest. How do you learn to deal with it? Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddie being one of them? Habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Chai. I understand that guy. He's nice, we've chat a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life force as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60. Max? Yep, much older than that. Wow. We're getting sidetracked though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You've been out for nearly 25 hours. You overdue. Put it on Maddie's tab. Huh. Okay, I assume you're not going to stick around forever. Unlikely if the next few hours are anything like how I felt this morning. I'll stick around until you have a solid answer then. Cool. Wanna get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Jay told me about something pretty special he's got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he's probably offered me some. And even then... So you've tried the... Call it so? You pulling my leg? Nope. You got to be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I actually have seen it. Aye, that's quite illegal. I expected better from him. Damn it. So are we going to drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it, or force the owner to dispose of it. We'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude. Chai said I'd knock you flat. When you say you, do you mean me or you, or just anyone who drinks it? Anyone? It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's not technically possible, but I'll admit my interest is piqued. Well, let's not waste any time. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically, you win? Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing that people can't get alcohol poisoning. Aye. The bureaucracy. Ah, the bureaucracy. Oh, this is a night already. What? There's a phone? Yo, your orders arrived. 3 days late, mate. I got help up by a mutual acquaintance of ours. Ah, crap, that's explain why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour. Yo, matey. End of the line. Ooh, so this is the end of the first episode. The catabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point, and in the stories they usually come back, which is the bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe has had a bunch of heroes come through, claiming that they were going to conquer hell and come back. They never returned as far as I know. The idea of catabasis is that in the grand scheme of things, hell, or the underworld, or Hades, whatever you want to call it, anyway, it's on the outside or of wherever we are, like we're trapped inside the sphere and we leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask one sometime if I ever meet one. And perhaps we're just waiting our entire lives for this, to pass through the firmament to the next place. To be driftwood that washes up on the shore of whatever that next place actually is. Seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possible that this world isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's anything like heaven or hell waiting for us. No judgment either. The world doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. That's just flawed human thinking projected onto things that are much more complex than they can ever perceive. And I don't think what's waiting on the other side is even something that we can conceptualize. I bet it's cool. It's the shame that it's a one-way trip though. That's all? Okay, this time it was no funny. Ooh, there's a lot. 100 years, minor. Okay, it said a chai, spirit juice, foggy, neutral, confiscate, Collingwood. It's dice. No, we have a lot of I forget her name. Let's see, license to practice. Okay, this will be him again. Ball of Peace, standards, Collingwood. Let's try this one. 1,000 people. Semi-mortals. Ball of Peace, Minor Demon. Hubris. Foggy, Ball of Peace. Okay, go with Ball of Peace. Let's see. Lore. Oh, a lot of lore. Ned. Yeah, I knew. What? A terminal? Food? Collingwood. Melbourne. Oh! Finally, I have this. Australia sign. So, now we can unlock something to read What? I can go outside now? That's interesting. It not looked so bad. Oh, what's there? What's this? Not enough. I need our guy Kishan sign. Let's see, unlock. Teen Transient. A teenage boy approached the counter. Shoulders slumbered forward, head down, eyes on the ground up until the moment he looked up to order a drink. He was old enough that he could have passed for a young adult with a better presentation, but the posture coupled with the oversized backpack he was wearing were a dead giveaway. Irrespective of his age, he was still just a kid. Can I get a coke? An order befitting of a kid. Yeah, I think we can manage that, said Maddie. Think fast, said Che. Maddie turned around just in time to see an aluminum can hurtling toward her. She almost caught it. The can rolled back toward Che, who scooped it off the floor. He hesitated a moment before setting it on the counter. No ice, right? Said Che. The boy nodded. No. Or, yeah. Yes to no ice. Che cracked open the can and poured it into a waiting glass, which he then slid down the counter, pushing it gently enough that it came to a rest in front of the teenage boy. The boy grabbed the glass. Thanks, he said. He glanced around the room. If you're looking for a place to sit, there should be plenty of seats upstairs. The boy nodded and headed for the stairs, drink in hand. Plenty of seats down here too, said Maddie, turning to Che. Yeah, said Che. But I think upstairs is more 2-1 space. What did you just call him? 2-1, said Che. People have names, you know. That's the problem with having regulars, said Maddie. People expect you to remember their names. Though, now that I think about it, 2-1 probably wouldn't mind finding out that you don't know his name. You can have your name on Maddie's crap list if she doesn't know it. Should he be on my crap list? Said Maddie. Nah, he's harmless, said Che. Maybe a bit susceptible to peer pressure, but I think that's why he comes here. To meet with peers? To meet people who aren't his peers, said Che. How many glum teenagers do you see around here? Too many, said Maddie. Maybe not enough, said Che. Please tell me you don't actually mean that, said Maddie. Teenagers have the highest noise to spending ratio of any demographic. Not the glum ones, said Che. And if I were a glum teenager trying to find my place in the world and trying to carve out an identity for myself, I could imagine a worse place to do it than right here. Teenagers can go be glum somewhere else, said Maddie. Whatever happened to proper teenage delinquency? Be careful what you wish for, said Che. We've been mercifully delinquent-free for quite a while now. Proper teen delinquents don't loiter in coffee shops, said Maddie. They set things on fire, spray paint alleyways, and stay out past curfew. Does the city have a curfew for minors? It should, said Maddie. Teens need to be able to break rules, and all the better if committing acts of vandalism at 11 p.m. gives them a 2 for 1. Maybe they should avoid delinquency and just stick to general mischief, said Che. Oh no, said Maddie. We already have plenty of mischief around here, even since Ashley set up shop. Got it, said Che. Next time I see 2-1, I'll tell him he needs to be committing more crimes. What'll you do if he actually takes your advice? He won't, said Che. Peer pressure only works if it's from a peer. Someone of my age telling him he'll be cool if he starts sweeping liquor won't do much to assure him that becoming a thief is a ticket to popularity and acceptance. To find another teenager to tell him, I'll keep my eye out, said Che. Okay, so we need to read it. Ashley's journal. To open this door. Okay. Are we going to try and read something new? Crucible product reviews. Spirit resistant quartz crucible with self-sealing lids. Product description. Unlock. Read it. Spirit resistant quartz crucibles with self-sealing lids. Product description. Heat resistance up to 1650 degree. Self-sealing lids form airtight seals around the crucible's ground rim, highly resistant to corruption and spiritual interference. Clear inner and outer covering allow for easy spotting of cracks or imperfections. Quality is suitable for mixing potions and filters. Average rating 3.5 stars out of 5. Products review 5 out of 5. I love this. The covering, despite being quartz, has a textured appearance that gives it a silky smooth feel to it. Most crucibles feel sterile and cold, but this one makes for a perfect beverage container when entertaining guests. 4 out of 5. The previous crucible set I used was inherited from my grandmother, who brought them over from New England. Unfortunately, 2 months at sea were not kind to her spiritware, and her crucible were filled with tiny cracks and microfractures that allowed unsightly looking soot to build up, leaving them stained with hard gray lines everywhere, looking like they were about to crack apart at any moment. She used them for several decades to come, but every time I worked with her and watched them heat up, I was afraid they were constantly on the verge of shattering. Once she used to contain a lost wayward spirit for several days before finding a home for it, and I would get up at night to check the embers under the crucible, and it always unsettled me seeing how fragile the container was. Several times I found myself tempted to tip the crucible over, just to see how easily it would shatter under my soft touch. Needless to say, this new set is much nicer. They're sterile, and I can keep several of them in my bedroom without feeling unsettled by their presence. 2 of the crucibles in my set arrived with small chips in them, but I contacted the manufacturer and they replaced them at no charge. The replacements were express shipped and the process was quick and painless, so great customer service, and they offer replacements up to 1 year. For the price, they can be beat. 4 out of 5. Owned mine for 2 weeks and it didn't crack. Decent for the price. 5 out of 5. Received mine in the mail this morning and can't wait to try it out. So glad to have finally found someone selling crucibles at a reasonable price. A brand name on one costs over $200, which is just outrageous. 1 out of 5. Bought it several weeks ago since it was the cheapest crucible on the site, advertised as spirit resistant. I'm working on a filter for my graduate thesis and purchased 100 of these for lab use. My plan was to monitor 100 different animal spirits over with different types of plant matter and compare how different biomaterials affected their vigor over a 90-day period. The first day I set the first 5 with samples of mugwort, riverview, ginger, ginseng, and golden seal. I placed them in the crucibles over low heat, 80 degree, and left them overnight, and over the next 2 days did the same with all of the remaining crucibles, finishing on a Friday and leaving the lab alone for the weekend. When I arrived back on Monday, I knew that something was wrong when I noticed a rain cloud hovering over the door. It's not uncommon for rain clouds to appear at any time of year, at any time of day in our part of the country, but it's quite another to find a rain cloud localized entirely within the hallway of your research lab. I braced for the worst, but I guess I should have braced harder. Nothing could have prepared me for the smell when I opened the door. I immediately felt my eyes watering and actually found myself choking. It smelled so bad. I slammed the door shut and went to the basement to grab one of the emergency respirators we keep down there. Unfortunately, the respirator did little to mask the terrible stench inside of the lab. I opened the first crucible and saw that it was filled with a tar-like substance, and as I studied its inky black writing form, I felt the air sucked out of me, almost like it was trying to drag me into the abyss with it. I threw it into the floor and the container shattered, splattering the floor with the tar-like substance, which began slowly crawling across the room. I grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall and sprayed the tar until it was completely covered, and heard that sounded like a sputtering noise followed by a long gasp and a scream that faded into oblivion. After poking at the fire extinguisher spray, whatever was underneath was clearly quenched. I took the remaining crucibles and placed them in the oven and baked them at a temperature of 100–600 degrees for several hours as I sat alone in the lab, contemplating the cruelty of existence and wondering what my academic advisor would have to say about my thesis project. After several hours of waiting, I opened the oven and checked the contents of the crucibles, revealing nothing but ash. Whatever it was that had been drawn by the spiritual emissions of my lab work, it was gone from my world, but the memory of that day will haunt me for all the remaining days of my life. 1 out of 5. Do not buy this crucible for spirit-related applications. My wife is one of the product designers who worked on this item. The crucibles in this listing come from a manufacturer called Marsecurity LLC. Back in 2013, they were some of the best hardware you could get for your money and earned a reputation among hobbyists as great value for anyone working on a budget. In 2016, they did a survey and found that fewer than 3% of buyers were actually using the crucibles for spirit-related applications, and decided they could cut costs by removing the spirit-resistant properties. However, they found that products advertised with updated ad copy to reflect this didn't sell as well, so they continued using the old product description, which advertises as spirit-resistant, with the new product line, which is not spirit resistant. I don't know how they are getting away with this. Apparently, the definitions of what is actually spirit resistant are legally murky, and the number of people affected is small enough that they continue to sell well. Stay far, far away from this one, and warn anyone you know of who might buy an item like this that it does not work as advertised. Nice color! Okay, so let's end it here. I hope you enjoy it. Smash like if you did, leave your comments and subscribe. See you in the next videos. Bye!